word that describes best your leadership style?
Participating, and at time unfortunately I was authoritative also. I don't know, I was.
Sir, one of your biggest strengths as a leader and one weakness as a leader?
The weakness is that I was short-tempered. This is my weakness. It was that I was very, very hardworking and I don't waste time. And people they call a workaholic. I am all the time working.
Work-life balance.
I work on.
One value you would like to teach young leaders?
I think all of you should continue to maintain the energy, continue to work hard and see that you are able to make change in yourself. The change is very important. We should not be moving backward or we should go ahead. Change is very important. This is what you should be able to do in your life.
So, very good morning. So, a warm welcome to this Leadership Voices. So, we have with us today Dr. Professor Raj Bahadur, who is a distinguished orthopedic surgeon and an academic leader. With over 4 decades of experience, he has made significant contribution in orthopedic education, spinal surgery, and healthcare administration and leadership. He began his career way back in 1976 at Himachal Pradesh Medical College, at Indira Gandhi Medical College, Shimla, and later he has held several prestigious leadership positions in Banaras Hindu University, Safdarjung Hospital, Rohtak Medical College, Jimmer Puducherry, PGMR Chandigarh, and many more. Currently, he has also served as Vice Chancellor of Baba Farid University of Health Sciences, which controls over 150 institutions and many medical colleges. He also served as Head of Bioethics Nodal Center of Punjab State, Head of National Postgraduate Bioethics Program, and holds several positions of International Chair of Bioethics at WMA. Currently, he is directing the Regional Spinal Center as a director of that center. So, welcome you, sir, to this program.
Thank you.
So, sir, you have traveled many institutions in different positions, right? Initially at the academic positions as a professors, but then serving as a directors and vice chancellors. So, according to you, what are the key qualities of a successful leader, and how have these qualities shaped your leadership journey over a period of time?
So, as I mentioned earlier, that although we know theoretically there are many qualities a leader should have, but if I look into myself, I think, as I mentioned earlier, that I was not a brilliant person, but absolutely hardworking, and I don't think that I have wasted even a single minute in my life just for enjoying the life as such. So, hardworking remain a crucial thing for me. In addition to this, I think the other thing which I believe which made me successful is my capability as a professional capabilities. It would impress the team where I was working. I could motivate the people, those who were with me. And the second thing was as I mentioned, is the professional capability which I possessed. I had the perseverance to see the results which can come after putting in efforts. If you do something, I give you an example that I could not crack the exam initially, but then again worked hard to do this. So this remained as my life motto, that I continue to do the thing, and with perseverance one can achieve what a person is able to wish to get. In addition, that one should have, as a leader, a quality to communicate with the people. If I have a lot of thoughts and I am not able to communicate with the people, I think I may not be able to be successful as a team leader. So, as a professor, as a director, as a vice chancellor, all the time we need to see that we interact freely with the people so that you are able to motivate your team friends, and we should be able to produce the results which we have desired, which we put as a short-term measure or a long-term measure as far as our targets are concerned.
Yes, sir. So when I was senior resident in 2002 to 2005, I have seen you working till 9 o'clock and 10 o'clock in one of the OPDs. You come to your room at 5 o'clock or 6 o'clock, and then you start running the OPD, and I have seen you personally at 9 o'clock in the evening running OPD in a government medical college, in a government hospital, PGI. So that demonstrates the hard work which you have done over so many years. Sir, during your lifetime, because your life journey is very unique in the sense that you have moved in different positions, so you might have faced certain challenges during your life as a leader, and how you navigated those challenges, because as a leader, it is bound to have the leader facing challenges.
So now at various positions, like when you start your career at a assistant professor, you have a different challenges. You have a challenge to learn the things, to master the things, but as you grow, like if I remember, in the medical college, we have a lot of faculty existing, and they were stagnating at a particular place. For example, a assistant professor is there as an assistant professor for the last 5, 6, 7 years, and there is no scope for promotion of that person. And similarly, the associate professor will also not get a promotion. So I requested the government and carved out a scheme known as a redesignation scheme, which is even existing today. This was the first experience, and probably has not been done any other place, that a person after getting a requisite experience as assistant professor, which is desired by the selection committee's bodies, like for example, if we have a Union Professors Commission, if the Union Professors Commission says that we require 3 years as an assistant professor or 4 years as an assistant professor, then he should be promoted as associate professor. So we started this scheme that a person will be promoted to associate professor, and he has that feel of an associate professor, but we will not give the salary of that. So because of the money which is not there, the constraint of money, we would give the person a designation of an associate professor so that he performs the activity of an associate professor, and then he is still not putting a pressure on the institution or the government as far as the money is concerned. Similarly, the same man, after requisite experience as is required as a professor, is made as a professor, but even then he may not be getting the salary of a professor. But then he has that aura of a professor. In the society, he is respected as a professor, which gives a impetus to that person to progress further. So this redesignation scheme was one which was there, which has changed the scenario as far as the faculty is concerned in the government medical college, which I think is a good contribution. So same, I put that in the university. All the faculties which are existing and stagnating. I remember when I became a professor, the another person in medical college Patiala was working still as an assistant professor. He was senior to me, but still working as an assistant professor, which is so,
right.
I think, demotivating for any person that a younger person who was in front of him as a senior resident has become a professor, whereas that man is still working as an assistant professor. So I think we as a leader should carve out something so that the team which you are leading remain motivated to perform the activity, the function of any institution where he is working.
So that's an excellent thing, sir, because this is how the new things you have started thinking on, which was not existent before.
The next thing which I feel, which I wish to share with you is that in the state of Punjab, in a government institution where the private practice is not allowed, in PGI we don't have the private practice. So consultant who is working in the PGI, he works from 9 to 5, but he cannot go to a private institution. In Punjab, also, the same system is existing, that the doctor who is working in the government setup is not doing any private practice. So if somebody is doing the private practice, the purpose is that he attracts patients from the hospital and he tends to operate these patients or treat these patients in a different place so that he earns money. Although of money is very important, but then since the system does not desire that you should do the private practice, rather in that time you prepare yourself, do some research, write a publication rather than seeing the patient and earning the money. So in Punjab, when I went to the university, I found in the medical campus, the patient, they're just coming in cars, they're coming in scooter, going to the houses of the consultant there who are sitting at their places, and they all are seeing the patient, which is not desired as far. I have never seen that in Chandigarh in PGI, but it was so rampant at Freeport, which was so upsetting for me. But then I saw to it that at the gate of the residential complex, I placed a register that who is entering, and saw to it that nobody does the practice, and the practice was totally completed. Like one day I was roaming in the campus, I found that the professor of ENT seeing his patient at in his home. So after my round, I called the person, I sent the security person, bring that professor to my room at my residence, and I told him that I do not wish that you should do the practice in this place. It is not desired. This is not desired by the government also. So please stop this. Otherwise, probably we will take an appropriate action against you. So this might have made few people annoying. They get annoyed with me. But then, as a matter of fact, in principle, I could see that the campus was private practice free, which was so important for this institution. The examination system which was existing in Punjab was the usual examination system. I take pride that the theory paper of PGI institution is also seen by the Baba Fazl University of Science. I don't know whether you know that or not. We made a system where the question paper reaches in the examination hall through the email with the OTP, and the paper is taken out. And all the paper is then cyclostyled, or you can make a photocopy and circulate it in front of the candidate to the various students. So this was a e-transfer from the university. We will transfer the paper to the centers, all the centers. This is e-transfer of the question paper, which is around, say, half an hour before the examination, and then you make the photocopies of that and then distribute in front of the students, so that no question paper is leaked. This was again a rampant situation in Punjab, that the question paper they are leaked. But then we saw to it that since the question paper is leaking in the examination itself at half an hour before, and then they have a OTPs, and then with that you are able to open that and then give the paper in front of the candidate, so that no question paper is leaked anywhere. Similarly, the evaluation. So the other thing which we added was the evaluation of the examination. The examination sheets, the answer sheet which you write, say consisting of 40 pages, the bundles, they will go from place A to B, where the examiner is. In the transfer of the paper, the people, they will come to know that the question paper has gone to Sonu Goel, right? And then they will reach Sonu Goel. They will request him, they can get the marks, and then that's the way the practices they were going on in the examination, which was so bad as far as the university was concerned. We made a sheet consisting of 40 pages. Each page was barcoded, and the question paper was given to the candidates. The question paper they have received by them, and then this paper they come to the university. Then each page is scanned, made a PDF, and this PDF of the candidates, for example, there are 100 candidates for orthopedics. This will be put into the pool of the examiners. There are 10 examiners in orthopedics. You will put the PDF of all these question papers of the candidates into the pool of the examiner. You push the button on the computer, the question paper will reach on the table on the computer side, and then the candidate, the teacher examines the paper. It remains on the screen of the teacher for approximately 1 hour, and he has to see the paper at that time, and he puts the marks, and these marks through the iCloud will go to the university and will do the totaling there itself, so that there is not any discrepancy as to the total is concerned by the teacher also. So in this way, if this mark which, for example, he has given, out of 100 has given 60 marks. The same paper will go to another examiner. Somebody will put the button and this paper will also go to the other examiner. He puts 76 marks. Then the marks of the candidate would be 76 plus 60 divided by 2. The mean of these marks is the marks which are given to the candidate. But if the difference between these marks, for example, somebody has given 30 marks, the other has given 70 marks, if the marks difference is too much, then it goes to the third examiner. So this is the way we evolve that system so that we have a absolute transparency and the correct marking of the candidates. So e-transfer and e-evaluation, we were the first university in the country to start this program. And since then, like I went there in 2014, we started in 2015, and this is now persisting. Most of the universities now they're following this, and this is exactly a sea change as far as the examination system was concerned. These were few contributions which I made in addition to the other things like the construction work and all these. We have a good cafeteria. So since I was here, did you see the cafeteria PG? I don't know whether you've seen it or not. It's a beautiful cafeteria which is around circular. So that since I was here, I wish that the similar cafeteria should be created there at Rishikesh, which is around 300 kilometers from this place in the remote area of Punjab. So these are certain things which you learn from some place and execute at some other place. This is the way I did it.
Yeah, so I think many lessons, many challenges we have faced, sir. And I think we always talk about leaders' thinking abilities like innovation, thinking something new, always find time to think something new. And you have thought like that, and that's why you became the first, and people start emulating later on about the same transparent system. The second thing which you have told here is about leaders should be tough in decision making sometimes. It's not necessary that we have to please people always, but we have to be at a position. We have to be tough sometimes to maintain the transparency and to maintain the accountability of the system. I think these are some of the qualities which I see.
Taking cue from him, like people that were fixed with the old system of examination, and the team which was doing the evaluation at the university, taking the paper, sending the paper, they were not ready to take this responsibility because this is new responsibility. But there, it is my persistence, maybe some authority which I was using as a vice chancellor, that we have to do it. We excited so much that we started doing it and became successful. There is a possibility that we could have failed also, but then no, we did it so nicely.
Thank you very much, sir. Thank you for your input. So now I think the motivation is a very important aspect for any team which a leader takes forward. So what are the strategies which you adopted, sir, while interacting with your colleagues, with team members, to keep them motivated, to have them inspired, so that everyone is included, everyone is heard about?
To cite an example, like you also might have faced COVID at your place, COVID-19. So we were in the midst of the COVID also in Punjab. The testing capacity of COVID-19 was 50 samples per day in Punjab. And you can imagine that how big was this epidemic, and we could only do 50 samples. I came to Chandigarh. While going back from the agriculture university, I took the R&D, RTO for this testing machine from the agriculture university, took the MSc student with me in my own car and putting the machine there at Freeport. Gradually, we built this structure in the state of Punjab, creating approximately 7 labs, and our testing capacity reached to around 50,000 samples per day. And when we were at the peak of the COVID, we started with the 50 samples per day, and by involving all the members of the microbiology department, the other people there to different places, we could motivate all these people because this was so big a panic in this, and we could do 50,000 samples per day in testing capacity. This we could do by procuring. We started humbly with a single small machine from the agriculture university, not with even with the it was not with the medicine department anywhere. So this is the way. But then eventually we have a big 7 labs which were set up, and we motivated all the people. May not be the medical people; they were also forensic people, the CFL lab, the biotech lab here, and then we have animal husbandry lab in Ludhiana. All these they were different places, but when it was in the peak, I was moving from lab to lab to motivate people. I suffered from the COVID also myself, but then the objective was that we should be able to do as many samples as possible.
So what are like, because COVID was such a depressing time sometimes for health workers, and lifting the capacity of labs from a very minimal to a very huge, they might be wondering that how we'll be able to do it. So how you keep that motivated?
See, in this total game, I think all the states might be working very hard as far as their COVID testing is concerned. But the state of Punjab, we had a very big team where the Chief Minister per se was also, the Captain Amrinder Singh was the leader of the team, and our Chief Secretary was another great lady. We have Professor Talwar, who was from PGA, he was the one advisor, and I was the another advisor for the total program of this. From the community medicine, we have people, those who were telling us the projection of the disease which will happen after, say, Prinjay was there, who was telling that this will happen after, say, 1 month or after 2 months or like this. I think we have an absolute coordination and working very hard, and a lot of money was given to us. In this period, I would say that the procurement of around 200 crore was done through my hands. This amount is too much for our country. Only for one activity, 200 crore was spent through this hand, and it was done so judiciously that the cost was much less, which was procured by any other area as far as the procurement was concerned.
Right, sir. So wonderful. I think these are some very good examples from the COVID time as well. So, sir, because you have practiced leadership, and since you have become the HOD's position and various positions, so what are the most influential role models in your life, starting from big?
I think the most important person who is still existing, he's around 93 years. He's my teacher in orthopedics, Professor S.M. Tulli. I saw as a postgraduate student that the department had a one table, and there were 3 chairs on this, and all these 3 chairs was of a professor, a reader, or so-called associate professor, and a lecturer. I could see that 3 persons of a different designation, and they were sitting on the same table. So I thought that when I will make a department of orthopedics anywhere in my country, wherever, I will also make the department of the same way, so that there is no rivalry between the A, B, and C. So in medical college, when I came in 1995, we made a department of orthopedics. We gave different subjects to different consultants. For example, one was doing the tumor surgery, the other was doing the pediatric orthopedics, the other was doing the arthroscopy, I was doing the spine and the joint. So each person was given a full charge of this, and we were living like brothers as our teachers they used to live it. And this I learned only from my teacher, Professor Tulli. They were all these 3 persons, professor, reader, and lecturer. They were postgraduate of 59. They were students of 3 legends of our country from different places. One was from Amritsar, the other was from Lucknow, the other was from Patna. So 3 eminent orthopedic surgeons had 3 students sitting together at Banaras, and they made a department. So when I was there in the medical college, I had a dream that I will make a department of orthopedics better than PGA from where I started, and we made it. I just will say that you will agree with my comment that the department of orthopedics at medical college was much better than PJ. Then I became head of department of orthopedics at PJ also. But this is the way I think the teacher, they motivate you to do as a leader. They also motivate you to do the professional work and then to act with your colleagues who are of the same age, same, but they are a different designation, to work like brothers in the department.
No, exactly, sir, because I still imagine my time when I was in Indira Gandhi Medical College. I was doing my undergraduation and post-graduation. So at that point of time, my professors, when I was just first year PG student, so they were treating me like their colleague. So we used to roam together, we used to go to Mall Road together, and that created a sort of inclusivity in the department, and that kept me motivated to do further things. And I think I just relate the example with your example very well, sir. So, sir, what is the biggest challenge now a leader is facing today, sir, in the today era?
At present time, like the difficulties as far as my country is concerned, we have now competition among equals. There was a time when one professor and the other people, they were not equal to him as far as their professional capabilities they were concerned. Now, many of us are capable. Like, for example, if I just relate the director's position in PGI, there were many candidates who were very good. Similarly, in All India Institute of Medical Sciences, New Delhi, there were 5-6 friends of mine. They were so good to become the director. Right? There was a lot of competition. But director, it has to be only one person. So the government decided to bring director from some other place, from Hyderabad they brought, which was demotivating for these 4 or 5 brilliant persons. Many of them, they resigned, they left the department. So I feel that lot of competition, and the competition is among equals. Right? Earlier there was not equal people, those were competing, but now there is a lot of competition. In addition, the new technologies they are coming, and unless the person who is not aware, like for example, the example which I made of the e-transfer of the question paper, e-evaluation of the question paper. So if a person, the leader of a particular university, say in any state, is not aware what is happening in the other institution, I think he will be lagging behind. So very, very important is that the person should be aware what is happening in the world, what is happening in the world, what is happening in your academic field, and that awareness is very important, and that is the challenge. If he is not alert every day what is happening, I think he will be lagging behind as a leader, may not be able to do many things which is expected out of them out of the time.
So we need to adapt to the current challenges and also to the current technologies. Right. So, sir, now we'll go to some rapid fire questions. We have some rapid fire question, one word or one sentence questions for you, sir. So, one word that describes best your leadership style.
I think my leadership style was combination of little bit authority, and then there is a participation also and delegation also. I was delegating, participating, and at time unfortunately I was authoritative also. I don't know, I was.
No, I think this is what we talk about, situational leadership. So if the situation demands authoritative leadership style, then it needs to be authoritative when you have to make tough decisions, and when you are in a way when you want collective decisions, then democratic or delegating leadership style. So a leader you admire the most. A leader who you admire the most.
I think I have no doubt in the present scenario, our country, the Prime Minister is fantastic. I consider him as the leader who is looking into not only the political things, but then the relationship which is developing with the other countries. I think that's a great thing which is doing. Not earlier, I don't think that our Prime Minister, they moved to the different places and did the friendship, but this man has a lot of energy, he's of my age, and then But then he has 20 years as a chief minister and then around 11, 12 years as prime minister. He's a bachelor. And I think there's a lot of energy he has. He motivates us that we should have our targets. The country, like I think you will be knowing that we are the fifth largest economy and we are aiming to become third. And the impetus which is giving us, I think we will be able to reach by. But I wish that such leaders, they should be persisting in our country. We should be able to progress so way.
Right, sir. Sir, one of your biggest strengths as a leader and one weakness as a leader.
The weakness is that I was short-tempered. This made my weakness, where at times I have to face because of this, because of short-temperedness. The strength was that I was very, very hardworking and I don't waste time. And remain people they call a workaholic. I am all the time working, and that's my strength as far as I'm concerned. The other thing which I feel is, in present day scenario, I rate myself as honest to the core because I remember the ACR, the annual confidential report of my father was also a dead honest, and I carried that beacon which he has given to me to be absolutely honest. As a director, as a vice chancellor, you can imagine the amount of pressure which I had from the politician, but I didn't budge. They expected me to do some wrong things, but the honesty persisted. The God had me.
Right, sir. So, biggest leadership myth in your opinion?
The feeling that the leader knows everything. I don't think that we know everything, but then similarly, the leaders, people they say that they are born as a leader. I don't also think that we were not born. I came from very ordinary family, and we might have entered into a school teacher, but then it is sheer hard work that you can make a change for yourself as well as your family and then the society and the country.
What motivates you to continue doing so many things?
To bring new change and then to progress as far as the profession is concerned, to learn more technologies, rather than stagnating only at the same place. I think that's the motivating factor that I continue to do the same. I'm not fixing the fractured shaft femur now, but then I'm able to do the spine surgery to the level of say C1 to the coccyx level. So this is only by
Thinking something new.
thinking new, always new. The thing which we started, I started reading the book and then did it. And at time I went to UK and then I learned those things from that place also. So all these things, they are very important to be remain at some level.
Work-life balance.
I work on. The life aspect of life, I would say that is secondary for me, but then the work is more important.
Yes, I have seen that, sir. A skill every leader must master. If we have to name one skill, every leader should master.
I think the leader should be humble also, and he should be a person who should be able to motivate, and a best communication he should have with his.
Most difficult part of being a leader.
When there is a lot of, for example, I found that the politicians, like those who are corrupt, when they asked you to do bad things, wrong things, like I was asked to pass a candidate who failed in 2022, and in 2022 he expected that I should pass him without taking any examination. He put a sort of a bullets on my neck, and I was feeling so bad. At the end, I had to go to the chief minister to tell that I cannot do this and ask him that he should not expect this thing from me. Only then I could survive myself. And similarly, the corrupt politician would also say that, okay, the procure certain things at a higher cost, but we start to be stuck to it, that it should be as per the procurement process. And these were certain difficulties which I was facing once or twice.
So taking tough decision, maintaining honesty. So I think this is one of the tough things in a leader's life. And one value you would like to teach young leaders.
I think all of you should continue to maintain energy, continue to work hard, and see that you are able to bring change in your setup. The change is very important. We should not be moving backward, or we should grow ahead. The change is very important. This is what you should be able to bring in your life.
One word your team would describe you. You've already told by calling. And success in your words.
Anything which I think I should be able to achieve, and the target which I have expected that I should be able to achieve, that is, I consider as success. Any target, short term or long term, if I am able to achieve that, is my success.
So, sir, anything lastly for those who are beginning their leadership journey? So, for them, any last minute words?
The life is a challenge. It is not a smooth game. Like at the end of the day, I consider myself as a successful. I may be lagging in many things. I am lagging in many things, but then the most important thing is that this is one life which you have come. You only know this is the life. You may be able to come back again, possibly, as we believe in reincarnation. But this is the life. So make this life as best as possible for yourself and for the society.
So, thank you very much, sir. Thank you for interaction. And this was Dr. Professor Raj Bahadur, former Vice Chancellor of Baba Farid University, and speaking to us on leadership voices. So, we have gained from him that leadership is about honesty, it's about values, it's about doing hard work, it's about commitment and effective communication with your colleagues, with your team, and maintain the motivation of those teams. So thank you very much for leadership voices. Thank you.